Problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the traffic center on Daisy Ash.
Not to be a backseat driver, but if you need to hire great people fast, you need Indeed. Sponsor a job, and you'll immediately get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. More at Indeed.com/credit.
In the Zone with Brandon Kravitz. you want. It's all on demand. Just check out 969thegame.com/podcasts.
All right, so we're up and running on YouTube. Open mic live stream. If you ever wanted to put a face with the voice, why would you want to do that? Take my word for it.
We got the faces for radio?
That's still always my favorite joke.
Ooh. I tell people that all the time, and then when they look me up, they're like, oh, it looks pretty good.
True story.
It's pretty good.
I get it. Are you a football fan?
Oh, yeah.
Are you really? I mean, do you live and die by the NFL?
Not that much. When I was growing up, football was really my first love when it comes to sports, like even before basketball. So I used to play football a lot, played in high school. But when it comes to like following the NFL, like in their malarkey, as I grew up, it's just like
malarkey. Yeah, we'll get into some of the malarkey a little bit later on, as a matter of fact. But this is a football country. We love football. We love the NFL. Oh my God, did we love it? Look at the ratings. I mean, look at. I mean, the television revenue that's generated in the NFL. The Super Bowl is our greatest television event each and every year. Companies are spending millions upon millions of dollars just for 15-second ads in the Super Bowl. That's how much we love football. I've grown up in Florida my whole life. So, we really like the NFL. We like it a lot down here. We've got now 3 teams inside the state. But we really love college football is what we really love here. All right, Florida State, Miami. That's what I grew up on. Younger generation, now they get UCF. All right. And USF had a couple of years in there. Listen, UCF fans got to give credit where credit's due. They're ranked number 2 in the country at one point. FAU, FIU, their emergence. Listen, I grew up in the state of Florida, and so the Florida Classic, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, that was always a big game each and every. So we love football in this state. Love it.
Woo!
And we know that you love football. And then you'd watch football and high school football on Friday nights. What am I talking? I left out of high school football.
That's right.
We have the best high school talent in the country. In this state, we love football. There is no football that we are not willing to consume as a people. Or is there? The USFL announced that they're coming back. So clearly somebody thinks, hey, there's a place for us to bring more football to the table that people will want to consume. And I think I get that. I think I can see where somebody goes, hey, listen, all this other football is so popular. If there were just some more football for people to consume, they would consume it. My only issue with that is, why is this going to work versus all the other things that haven't worked? Better business plan? Maybe. Better timing? Maybe. But I have a question about this one thing, and I'll get to it in just a second. But think about all the different football ventures we've had,
right,
that tried to either piggyback off the NFL or say, hey, listen, here's an opening in the football schedule. Let me squeeze something in there. We've had the USFL way back when. And like I said, I grew up in Tampa, Himes Avenue. When I say literally across the street from Tampa Stadium, Kelly, if you are my house in Tampa, I am Tampa Stadium. That's how close. Wow. I'm talking about literally at my adult age, probably a good 5-iron, and I could hit the ball from my front yard into what was the old sombrero, okay? That's how close I was. And so I experienced growing up bandit ball. Matter of fact, for 1 year at Halloween, I wanted to be a football player. My mom said, you want to be a Buccaneer? Which was crazy because they were terrible. I said, no, I want to be a bandit.
Boom.
Loved bandit ball. Didn't know anything about football at that age, just knew it was a sport and it was a game that kids were playing, but I didn't know any players. I didn't know who Steve Spurrier was at the time. None of that stuff. But I loved bandit ball. But then that goes away. What else have we had in this? We've had the XFL, not once, but twice. And apparently we're going to get a third reboot of the XFL at some point in the very near future. We just had the AAF.
Which I had not high hopes for, but it seemed like the model that they had, it was going to be successful. So who knows? Maybe if COVID didn't hit, it would still be here. Who knows? But even before that,
they had issues before COVID.
Yeah.
No, they had financial issues.
I was thinking of XFL. That's why XFL folded.
But my point is this, and this is where I struggle. Garrett Gilbert, right? Who I guess was he the de facto MVP of that league? I don't know. Garrett Gilbert, Gilbert Grape, Gilbert Godfrey,
Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas. My point is this. Garrett Gilbert is good enough to be the third quarterback on an NFL team. I don't doubt that for 1 second. But if Garrett Gilbert's the best quarterback you can give me in a league of football, if he's the A1 guy, if this is the guy we're watching on a week in and week out basis, that's the guy that you're, on Fox this weekend. It's Garrett Gilbert and the, Tucson Tumbleweeds taking,
Yeah.
I'm not tuning in.
If that's your guy, there's no, star power behind it.
And the reason I say that is because the NFL's already told me that guy's not good.
Right.
So I already know that Garrett Gilbert's not that good. So why would I, I think our time is more valuable today than just about any other commodity we have. I mean, it probably should have always been valuable to you if it hasn't been. But my point is this. Am I on a Saturday or Sunday where I've wrapped up every Sunday and Saturday during real life football season for us, college and the NFL, is wrapped up. Kids can't go anywhere, can't do anything. I'm in front of the television. We got season tickets to this. We're watching this team. I got my fantasy league team going on. No way in this day and age can we as adults, parents, husbands, spouses, wives out there that are listening to the show, mothers, no way can we go, hey, I'm going to watch the NFL. I'm going to be devoted to my college football team. Sprinkle a little college basketball in there too, when that season rolls around. And then find this whole other season that I've got to devote my time and attention to, and my kids are at home going, what about us?
Right.
What about us? I just don't think that we have the ability to consume any more than we already do at a high level.
It's too much.
I think it's too much. Too much of a good thing is too much.
But you know what? If nobody ever competes, then it's always going to be a monopoly when it comes to the NFL, NBA.
Yeah, but that listen, first of all, it isn't like Aaron Rodgers today is going, huh? Yeah, USFL's coming back. Hold on, let me look at the USFL. Maybe I'll take my talents elsewhere. Now there used to be a time where that was true. Steve Young is a guy who went to we have a bunch of guys that went to the USFL first. But I can't. The way that the NFL is built today, I can't imagine that the USFL is competing to bring in whoever the Heisman Trophy winner is this year.
Well, not yet. You think about it, maybe...
No way.
Maybe in the future, right? USFL, XFL, whatever it is.
Spontaneous text question of the day. Do you think there's any possibility
of the day
that 10 years from now, the Heisman Trophy winner is going, you know what? I'm going to go to the USFL.
So would you not agree that if the USFL or XFL, they're doing their thing, right? What if they come up with the same way that the overtime league is doing right now? They come up with some sort of system that they will cultivate this young talent coming out of either Pop Warner or whatever. They'll grow them. They'll give them the name and likeness and everything. They'll pay them. And then, boom, you're going straight to the USFL or XFL. You don't think in the future that's going to be a better look than people going through the college thing? It's going to be the same thing as basketball.
So you'd have 17-year-old high school seniors competing against 35-year-old men who were just in the NFL?
I mean, to keep it the truth, you be seeing these boys are huge.
Nah, yeah, but
these kids are athletes. These are we're not freak now. You know what I mean? As I feel like every year that goes by, the athletes get even better and better. But
okay, I am intrigued by the idea of guys, because normally to get to the NFL, you got to do 3 years of college football.
Right.
I'd be very intrigued with a developmental league. And that's actually been kicked around before. I think it was Tom Brady's agent that at one point was trying to put together some Pacific Coast League, which was a bunch of young guys playing and actually getting paid. All right, so now you have me intrigued.
But that's the reason why I bring it up. They're going to be new leagues. Of course, it's going to be hard to get those big marquee names, but you keep on growing it. You give people incentives in order to transfer over to yours or to start with yours. Who knows?
Speaking of football leagues, we'll talk about the NFL. Kelly found a story yesterday that I hadn't even heard of yesterday. Did a little reading on it, and we'll tell you about the NFL's dirty, racist little secret that has come to light, but you're probably just hearing about it now as well. Why is that? We'll discuss that coming up next. You are listening to Open Mic right here on The Game. back on Open Mic on this Friday morning as we get ready for a weekend. Exciting weekend for me. I'm going to be at the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul extravaganza.
Looking forward to the recap from that. Not going to lie to you. Hopefully some shenanigans. Not too many crazy shenanigans happen, but.
Yeah, we're going to be there. We'll have a good time. It'll be fun for as long as it lasts. I think, what is it, 8-round exhibition, 12-ounce gloves. There's no
round 3 minutes, right?
3-minute rounds, yeah. No scoring.
No judges. No
judges. But the referee can reward a knockout or award a knockout. So
interesting.
You brought up a story yesterday to me that I hadn't even heard of yet. And it's out there, but it isn't out there loudly. I mean, think about it. We just talked about the NFL and how much we love the NFL and how we talked about we talked about Aaron Rodgers every day. Back before he signed his new contract, we talked about Dak Prescott every single day. Well, why is race norming something that sort of flew underneath the radar? Because it seems like a much larger issue to me, a much bigger story than will Dak Prescott get $150 million?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was every single day. We got that crammed in our eyeballs every single day. In our ears, every orifice was filled with Dak Prescott talk. I mean, it was like every day. You couldn't escape it. But then you mentioned to me a story about race norming, and I go, what's that? And I look it up, and so help me out here. And if you've got another perspective on it, tell me I'm wrong. But so what I've gathered here is as the NFL is settling its concussion issues, over time and their responsibility towards it with insurance and payment,
right?
That African American players are being denied these benefits because of a scoring system that they've used.
I'm going to call it a practice that they've implemented since, I believe, the early 90s.
That basically says, well, African Americans start with a lower cognitive skill than white people do. So when their numbers are low, it isn't because they've lost a lot. It's because they never had a lot, essentially, is what they're saying.
Correct. And even you just saying that gives me chills. Like,
bro, listen, and here's where, like, for people who go, let's separate, let's keep sports and not get political, and what does Black Lives Matter? This is Black Lives Matter right here. I mean, it isn't in your face because, again, I just heard about it. This is essentially what people are fighting for, or what people are protesting for, and what people are trying to bring, that these sets of separate rules or rules that are designed to put a certain minority, which in this case, listen, it's the NFL. I would say that the majority of players in the NFL are African American.
Yeah.
So imagine if this is all, this is a practice for them to say, oh, well, we don't have to pay out on that. This benefits the NFL to have this sort of like ridiculous notion that African Americans don't start with the same cognitive skills as white people do. Because here's the other part to me that just blows my mind. One of the rules in the NFL, and we just discussed it in the last break, you got to be 3 years removed from high school. And most people, to get to the NFL, I would say probably 99.9999% have to go to college for 3 years.
Right.
And these athletes do go to college. And so you're the idea that there's some sort of difference between an African American's cognitive skills, their intelligence level, anything along those lines, and a white one is racist. To me, it is.
It's not to you. It is racist, and you got to keep in mind. Like I said, this is something that they've been doing under the table since the early '90s. So just think of the countless athletes that have come and gone through that NFL door
and been screwed over.
And have been screwed over. We always talk about when our professional athletes, boxers, whatever the case is, football players, they need the best, insurance as possible. We got to take care of them. All this impact to the head and all that. And this is a case. I think they settled out for $1 billion to people who were going through this. and never got the help that they needed. And the thing that scares me is that this just came out and they're saying we're going to stop it. We're like, wait, we didn't even know you were doing it for 30, 40 years, however long it's been.
Well, and the reason you're stopping is because it's come to light.
Yeah.
If this doesn't come to light, this is still the practice. You know why? Because I'm dealing with an insurance issue right now, and let me tell you how frustrating it can be to try to collect on something that you have been paying on. And in the NFL, these guys are like, dude, I pay my dues and all this stuff. I put my body on the line. Now I'm trying to say, hey, listen, there's an issue. I want to be paid. Not only is this frustrating, it's so terribly insulting. And the fact that, oh, hey, listen, we're going to stop doing this now. You're only going to stop doing it now because you got caught doing it. That somebody brought it to light. And again, my biggest question is, why are we only hearing about this today?
Correct. And also,
and we're not hearing it. It's not on. I mean, like I said, Dak Prescott was on that television for 5 straight hours, 5 days a week. Where is this story?
And I'll say this real quick because it's interesting to me. Like someone like Stephen A. went off the other day about Brad Stevens getting the job. If it was a black coach, it wouldn't have been that simple, things of that nature. He literally walked off the show just talking about that. I don't understand how you don't discuss this and you don't completely walk off the show.
No, this is, and again, to me, this is one of those things where when we talk about the crossover between, social issues and sports. This is why this is the exact reason.
Yeah.
Is because sports doesn't just stay sports. It crosses over into a world where, hey, so we can deny some insurance benefits. Let's hold whites and blacks to different standards.
This is human rights right here.
It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable to me that this story is what it is, and the fact that the NFL has been engaged in this practice. It shouldn't be a shock to me because, I mean, again, they haven't. It took them forever to admit that concussions were an issue for them.
And quickly, we do have a poll on this at 96.9 The Game on our Twitter. How surprising is it that the NFL has been practicing quote-unquote race norming, which made it harder for black retirees to qualify for medical coverage? You can vote on that right now.
Coming up on the other side of the break, LeBron James bounced from the playoffs. He has 4 rings. Jordan has 6. Tiger Woods probably won't win another major. He's going to fall short of Jack Nicklaus. Which of those 2 guys have a greater claim to GOAT status? We'll discuss that coming up next.
Open mic. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry.
I have found the perfect weekend beach getaway for all my fellow Orlandoans. I'm talking about Hard Rock Hotel, Daytona Beach. This place is awesome. Just an hour's drive from downtown Orlando, but it's like you're driving into a Caribbean resort. There's a spa on site. There's a health club on site. The beach is right in front of you.
like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos, an iHeart radio station.
All right, 6:52 back on Open Mic. Adam Rudin, Kelly Velez with you. I'm watching some soccer highlights here. Oh, great defensive effort. I think that was Josh Sargent heading a ball off the line for the U.S. as they knock off Honduras.
What a dope name, Josh Sargent.
Yeah.
Like that name.
It's a young American. We got a lot of young Americans. I think they're going to end up playing Mexico in the final. Mexico ended up beating Costa Rica yesterday, I think, in PKs. Oh, we got a second top 10. Oh, it's the goal from the U.S. Who's that? I can't see. Hold on. I can't see. I don't even know who that is, that guy so young. I don't know him by his face. I needed to see the back of his jersey. They didn't give it to me.
Anyway, LeBron.
Yeah. We had some soccer highlights. I was so excited. I mean, look, American soccer. We're young. We're exciting now. We got Christian Pulisic of the world out there. I wanted to mention this GOAT discussion, right? You know, this is Trina's grandfather, who I see every single day, asked me, like, why do people keep saying GOAT? They don't.
That's LL Cool J. He doesn't know LL Cool J?
He's 90, so no. And I said to him, GOAT stands for greatest of all time. GOAT. And he goes, oh, okay. So we've had this discussion about the GOAT in basketball. You know, there's the LeBron versus Michael argument, the GOAT in golf, Tiger, Jack Nicklaus. And if you just measure it by the end of the day, how many titles have you won? And in golf, what really matters is your major victories. And in the NBA, what matters is NBA titles. LeBron and Tiger Woods fall short of the bar that was set before them. But doesn't the argument go deeper than that? Than just like, hey, how many titles have you won? Because automatically NBA or basketball people will go, well, what about Bill Russell? Yeah. Does that make Bill Russell the GOAT? And people are like, whoa, it's not that simple. I would like to apply the same logic to the LeBron Michael argument, that it's not just as simple as, hey, this guy won more rings. Otherwise, we'd all run around going, Bill Russell's the greatest of all time. Same with Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. Yes, Jack Nicklaus has more major victories than Tiger Woods. But I think that the argument of the greatest golfer who's ever walked the face of the planet runs deeper than, hey, how many of these 4 tournaments were you ever able to win in your career? Of those two guys, who some people would say fall short of the other GOAT, the older GOAT, if you will, which guy has the greater claim to being the greatest athlete ever in his particular sport, LeBron or Tiger Woods? Now,
quickly, do you bring what they do outside of the sport into this conversation?
I think that one of the arguments to me for Tiger Woods is the fact that Tiger Woods turned the game of golf into one that was interesting to just about everybody.
Right.
When there was a time when Jack Nicklaus was winning major championships, young African-American people who didn't have a lot of money didn't care about the sport.
Yeah.
That was it was an exclusive sport, if you will.
Listen, I can tell you, I was there, growing up. The only golfer we knew, and I grew up in Harlem in New York, was Tiger Woods. He was the one that we looked to and realized that, okay, there's a space over here, this golf thing. We don't understand it. There's not a lot of golfing going on where we're from, but we understand that there's a route for that. You know what I mean?
Well, and for me, I grew up in Florida, but never had any money. So I never grew up in a country club, or I didn't have friends that belonged to a country club. So I didn't play my first round of golf until I was in my mid-20s. Mm-hmm. And that's when I had started working at the radio station, and somebody said, hey, listen, if you're going to do some sales, you might want to get into golf because a lot of business deals are made on the golf course. I literally bought my first set of golf clubs from some guy at the bar. I was bartending and I was talking about I'm going to get into golf because I was interning at the radio station at the time. And the guy's like, well, I got a set of clubs if you want to buy them in the car for $150. And I reach into my tip jar and pull out $150. That's and all that happens, and then Tiger Woods comes along, and then I become interested in the sport, and I start knowing the guys' names and stuff. So Tiger Woods brought me into the sport. I knew some golf. I knew John Daly's story, but it was Tiger Woods that really got me to start watching golf on a semi-regular basis, and then really enjoy watching golf, as a matter of fact. And I'm guilty of this. Now that Tiger's not playing, when was the last time I tuned in to watch golf? When was the last time I was that excited? Maybe Phil Mickelson in the final round of the PGA? Because I knew it was a storyline. So, yeah, I watched that storyline. But I am as big a LeBron guy as there is. But to me, Tiger Woods is closer to the GOAT in golf than LeBron is in basketball. And believe me, I think both guys are the greatest of all time. But if you're going to make that argument and go a little bit deeper than one number in which those two guys fall short, I think when you certainly bring into the argument what the guy meant to the sport as a whole. I mean, there's a lot of guys on the PGA Tour who have made a lot of money because Tiger Woods came before him.
Right, and I feel like to make a case for LeBron, if Tiger brought people into the sport of golf from our generation, LeBron, the NBA has always been pretty, popular, especially with Michael Jordan, the Lakers after that. But LeBron added to that, on the outside, being a human being, being a philanthropist, being somebody that the NBA can look to and everybody around the world can look to be a good, figure. Okay, that LeBron guy, he's excellent at what he does, and it's even off the court as well, So and I take that into the case, which is why, in my eyes, LeBron is, the GOAT when it comes to basketball, period.
We'll get back into this discussion because I want to touch on something you just said about that. But let's take 10 seconds, legal identification first, and then we got a special guest on.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
All right, we are pleased to be joined by Frank Kelleher. He's the Vice President of Daytona International Speedway, and he's got some exciting news for race fans and sports fans alike. Frank, first and foremost, good morning. Appreciate you joining us here on Open Mic.
Hey, good morning to you. Really appreciate you making space to fit me on today.
Yeah,
thank you.
Speaking of making space, I know that you are excited that for fans out there in the race world, there is going to be opportunity now for fans to be more heavily involved than maybe 5 months ago we thought was going to be possible here inside the state of Florida. Talk about some of the restrictions that have been lifted and some of the decisions you guys have made in regards to getting fans involved with the events that are coming up.
Yes, thank you. So I have been with NASCAR now for 18 years. I've been in the role as president of Daytona International Speedway for about 3 months, and 2 days ago was arguably one of the best days in my new role when we were able to announce that we are open for business, man. Tent camping is 100% open. Infield RV camping is open, no more restrictions. Our shower facilities are open and available. Our UNOH fan zone and the pre-race access is back to what it always has been. We'll have a concert on the ball field on Saturday. Fans can access the ball field and sign the famed start-finish line. Victory Lane access. Our hospitality areas are 100% open. Our displays, they are back to fully interactive. They were very just, stagnant, stationary, if you will, but they'll be back to just having the buzz of the whole pre-race ceremony that our fans have been used to for so many years. So it was a great day. 2 days ago to get this announced, and appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share the news with all of your loyal listeners.
Talk about how difficult. I mean, we know how tough it's been for us in this industry. All of us as people. I mean, when it came to school and whatnot. What were some of the struggles that you guys faced, during the time of the pandemic and not having anything open per se? I mean, like how do you guys navigate that as such a large business and such a large venue?
It was hard, man. I mean, there's no way around it, but also with empathy. I mean, as hard as we had it, I recognize that there are other people in the world that had it much worse, right? And they had it much harder. But specific to your question and the NASCAR world, I think Harvick summed it up the best when he won in Darlington, and there were no fans in the stands. He just authentically said, like, man, this is weird. like he didn't want to celebrate the win because he was just missing that connection with our fan base. So that element was hard. I'll transition to, when we were the first sport back, with fans, and it was all hands on deck when we let fans through the gates. And I was out there in Miami and Talladega and Daytona working gates and checking bags and scanning tickets. And, you say thank you to fans for coming out. And it was a consistent response back of like, no, thank you. Like, thank you for opening up and doing this and being here. So that just makes me smile so much more, knowing that what those fans got those first few races was not the traditional, typical race day experience. And now to announce that we're giving it back to the fans, it's such an honor and such a cool thing.
Well, obviously, getting back to watch the race is what fans really, really want. They want to be able to be in the building, when the cars are going around and they're rooting on their favorite driver. But beyond that, you mentioned a bunch of different other things that you have. What are two of the things that you guys over at Daytona International Speedway you're most excited to give back to the fans to allow them to have the opportunity to do again? I mean, what are some of the things that maybe for people that have come to watch races but never really got there early and fully immerse themselves? What's the one or two things that you say, hey, listen, now that this is open and when we're back, come early and experience these things? What are the ones that you think are most important or that you guys are most proud of?
All right. So for me personally, most proud of, number one, that the ball field is open, that fans get to come down and be on the ball field and see a pre-race concert. I mean, it is just electric. The cars behind the ball field, just getting ready, the whole pre-race ceremony. I mean, it just kind of gives you goosebumps, makes the hair on your arm stand up. That's number one. And number two is just the infield camping experience. I love seeing all of the campers, all of the inflatable pools, the grills, the smokers, just that whole scene in the infield. It's just so family focused. I just can't wait to cruise through there and welcome all of our fans back in the campgrounds.
Frank Kelleher joining us here from Daytona International Speedway. Now, you're the president now?
Yes, sir. So I actually started as an intern. I was an intern 19 years ago, and the France family offered me a job a month before I graduated. So I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I graduated on a Sunday, was in my car Tuesday, was a marketing coordinator Thursday. 3 months ago, I served as the Senior Vice President, Chief Sales Officer, and now for the last 3 months, I am the president of the Daytona International Speedway, as well as our Southeast president. So I oversee Talladega and Homestead, Miami as well.
Awesome. Like I said, we gotta update this letterhead. The one I have still has you as the senior vice president. I thought you got a promotion here in the last 5 seconds or something.
We could work on that for you.
There we go. I just want to make sure. Give you the proper title. That's it. Give you the proper title, guys. The president. Good for you. And that's a great story too, by the way. It kind of reminds me of my radio career. Started as an intern, and then,
That's right.
I mean, that's about as far as it went, really, though. I mean, your story was much greater, much greater than mine. Let me ask you a little bit about the what the Coke Coke Zero Sugar 400, which is now in August. It used to be that was the July 4th race, right? That was the summer race that was at Daytona International Speedway. How does it feel having that race in a different time now? Does that change some of the stuff that you guys do besides what's on the calendar?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm married. I have 2 little kids, and I joke in the office that my wife and we have our summer schedule already set, right? Like, we know when the kids are going to sports camp. We know when we have a date night. We know when family is coming in, and it's just critical for this community to know that this event weekend is no longer 4th of July weekend, that it is August 27th and 28th with the Wawa 250 powered by Coca-Cola on Friday and the Coke Zero Sugar 400 on Saturday night. As a former racer and as a race fan, what I love about this shift is that the regular season of NASCAR starts in Daytona with the Daytona 500, and it ends in Daytona. So this is the regular season finale. So this is an opportunity for our athletes. Whoever wins this race punches their ticket into the playoffs, which start the following weekend at Darlington. So it is a really big event. It's a special event. All of our athletes are going to show up super focused and ready to go, as they know if you win this race, again, you punch your ticket into the playoffs. We will have a firework display at the end of the race, typically as we have done 4th of July weekend. But outside of that, man, it's all about the competition and someone, battling their way into the playoffs.
Now, I know that you guys over there, I used to always think of Daytona International Speedway as, it's a place that hosts NASCAR events, right? Like that. like you guys were open 2 days of the year in my mind growing up, right? Daytona 500, they're running over there. And then you got, what at that time was the 4th of July race. You guys do so much more. And working here in Orlando, I moved here a couple of years ago and started working here and got a chance to learn about all the different things you guys do during the year. Are you going to start getting back to normal? I knew that there was like some plans for some soccer events as well there, and obviously COVID has thrown everything into a bit of a blender. But is the idea that as we get back to normal, you guys will be getting back to all the different events that you guys have had, a motocross event? You guys are planning on some soccer events out there as well. Is that the plan for the future? Is to get back as quickly as possible to business as usual?
No, 100%. I am surrounded by so many amazing people that live in this community and work tirelessly. We'll start with Andrew Gertis, who runs our operations team, and his whole crew. I mean, these people grind, and the Speedway, it is a living, breathing animal that constantly needs attention and needs focus on. But putting on events, I mean, it's why we get out of bed every day, and giving this community an escape to forget about work, to forget about stress, and come and be entertained is what we're about. So, we kick the season off with the Rolex 24. We then get into Speed Weeks, and we immediately transition into Bike Week with flat track as well as with Supercross. So specific to this year, we will have the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 27th and 28th, and then we're going to transition into Rockville, which is a 4-day music festival, Thursday, November 11th through Sunday, November 14th. So headlining acts from Metallica to Nine Inch Nails to Cypress Hill to the Deftones. We've got some major acts coming out to the property, again, November 11th through the 14th for a 4-day music festival. And then, yes, soccer is still on the horizon. We are always looking for the next new fun event to bring to our community. Those things are always on our horizon.
I always go back to when I was much, much younger. I thought, they're open 2 days out of the year over there. That big old building, it was 2 days out of the year. Frank, now, I before I let you go, I know that you called us, but you guys are hosting Rockville, which I know is going to be new and exciting, something that I've gone to at the past. We're going to need your cell phone number so that we can text message you as we get closer to that event, so that you could leave our name at the will call up there, because those Rockville events are a lot of fun. So it sounds like you guys are doing awesome stuff out there, and you're super excited to get back to business as usual, and excited to welcome the fans back at a full capacity of what they've been used to being able to experience there at Daytona International Speedway. And we're excited for the fans in this community to be able to get back out there and experience those things as well. Frank Kelleher, the president of Daytona International Speedway, kind enough to join us on this Friday morning. Frank, man, enjoy the rest of your weekend, man, and best of luck and all positive stuff moving forward for you guys over at Daytona International Speedway.
Hey, I'll make sure you have my cell phone number. Call me anytime. Happy to join your show whenever you want me. Really grateful for the opportunity to speak to you and to your loyal fan base. And again, August 27th and 28th, the Wawa 250 on Friday, Coke Zero Sugar 400 on Saturday. Tickets start at $49. Kids, $10. And on Friday, children 12 and under are free, and adult tickets start at $35. DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com, 1-800-PIT-SHOP. Give us a ring. Hope to see you out there.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, man. And again, excited that we're getting back to normal, especially in the sports world, and excited for you guys over at the Daytona International Speedways. Appreciate your time, Frank. Really do.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day and a great weekend.
You as well. All right, coming up on the other side of the break, we got a little sound off. Johnny Manziel, apparently a part of the festivities. We'll do that coming up next. You're listening to Open Mic right here on The Game.
Open Mic, the best radio show in town. Isn't that right, Urban Meyer?
I think your facts are not surprisingly incorrect.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine 96.9 The Game studios.
That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We are FM 96.9 The Game, an iHeartRadio station.
Rising for three. He drills it.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
We're building up a little bit eastbound on I-4 near Osceola Polk Line Road. Have a serious accident being investigated that occurred northbound on John Young Parkway. Just past Hunters Creek, northbound John Young is blocked and diverted on the eastbound Greenwald Way. Hunters Creek is also blocked in both directions, and the left turn lane is closed southbound on John Young Parkway at Hunters Creek. There's an accident on Sand Lake Road at Chancellor Drive, and if you see traffic problems, call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Mattress Firm's best Memorial Day sale ever has been extended for a limited time. Shop and save up to $500 on top-rated mattress brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your $6.99 mattress purchase.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again. And it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high-interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Sleep just got cooler thanks to the new Casper Cooling Collection featuring Wave Hybrid Snow Mattress, Nova Hybrid Snow Mattress, Hyperlight Sheets, and Breathable Mattress Protector. Now with Casper's Memorial Day sale, for a limited time, you can save up to 15% on everything you need to build a cooler, better bed. Casper at Florida Mall offers a new way to shop for all of your sleep needs. From testing out the coolest mattress of your dreams to booking a nap appointment, their sleep specialists are ready to help find everything that you're looking for. To book your nap appointment, just visit them online, casper.com/stores. Say goodnight to overheating with the new Casper Cooling Collection. Try Casper's Wave Hybrid Snow Mattress at a sleep shop near you and experience 12-plus hours of cooler sleep with snow technology. And as always, Casper offers free shipping and free returns. Visit your closest Casper sleep shop in Orlando to shop the Memorial Day sale and save up to 15% on everything you need for cooler, better sleep.
International Diamond Center's most aggressive offer ever is back. 5 years, 0 interest financing.
This is incredible. Get the unbeatable low price IDC is known for and spread your payments out over 5 whole years without paying a dime in interest.
Use this to upgrade to that pre-owned Rolex watch you've always wanted, like a stainless steel Submariner as low as $125 a month, or a gold Presidential starting at just $265 a month.
Don't miss this amazing opportunity. Get the amazing IDC value price and 60 months, 0% financing without paying a dime in interest.
Getting engaged or celebrating an anniversary? Even all GIA and Forevermark certified diamonds are included in this incredible offer. How about a $15,000 designer ring with a Forevermark center diamond for only $250 a month?
Hurry, this is a limited time offer and only at International Diamond Center.
5 years, 0 interest financing. Now at International Diamond Center. On approved credit, see store for details or shopidc.com.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired singer-songwriter Lisa Loeb.
You say I got a crack on my windshield.
Lisa, maybe a little less heartbroken? Geico lets you file a claim online, over the phone, or with their app.
That makes me want to say stay.
Time for the sound off right here on the game. Almost forgot we had some music there. I started playing double tracks today for sound off.
Thought you were doing some sort of mashup or something.
You know what? We're gonna roll with it. It was a mashup, folks. The deceptive intellect saving me right here. Let's get it started.
Sound off. I'm signing these autographs, and this other guy who's like bringing the pictures over. He's like, yo, you're getting fucking ripped off. Here's this guy's number. Hit him up. He'll give you 30 grand. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to make 3 and then 30. I'm going to get out of here with 33.
For you with a calculator out, that's $33,000.
So this guy pretty much is like, all right, go to this room at the Fountain Blue. All the stuff will be in there laid out. And when you're done, just send me a picture of all of it. I'll give you the code of the safe. The money will be in there.
Johnny Manziel was on a podcast the other day, and he says exactly what that was over at Texas A&M. A lot of times they were strapped for cash, so he had the opportunity to get some money by simply signing some autographs. It first started when a guy offered him the opportunity to do it for $3,000, and once somebody was in there, saw him doing it, he's like, listen, you're getting ripped off. I can get somebody that can do it for you for $30,000. Moved over, boom, $33,000, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when this came out, it was a big deal again, and look at how far we've come. We've come to the point where like people were ready like to lock him up. Yeah, lock him up. And then we recognize now, no, these kids need some money.
Yeah,
you know, and they deserve some money. If Johnny Manziel's autographs are worth $30,000 to somebody, then Johnny Manziel should get $30,000.
I'm doing that every week. By the way, you bring up a good point, too, because this quote-unquote like news first broke when he mentioned it on a different podcast in like December. And in my opinion, the way I saw it, I didn't see it flying around the way it is now.
Well, and maybe it's because I think this was on one of Barstool's podcasts.
Yes.
So maybe it got a little more attention, and then ESPN picked it up. But again, I've never had an issue with guys signing autographs or selling their jerseys. If somebody out there wants to pay $30,000 for Johnny Manziel to sign autographs, then Johnny Manziel can sign autographs, in my opinion. If somebody, for some reason, was waiting outside the elevator for Kelly Velez to sign autographs, and they were going to pay him $30,000, no reason why Kelly Velez shouldn't be able to sign those autographs. So, never thought it was a big deal. As a matter of fact, you're a Heisman Trophy winner. You probably should have gotten more than $30,000.
So get your money, man.
Well,
I think he said it happened before he won the Heisman, no? So, shoot, if he kept on doing it after the fact, I would have been like, listen, boost that price up.
I still think, like if Johnny Manziel shows up to some card show somewhere and he brings his Heisman Trophy, sets it on the desk, and, you can take a picture. He's got like the little, the photographs, or you can take a picture with him, and he's charging $25 a pop, $50 a pop. I bet you he can still make pretty good money every weekend. Now, the rumor was his family was rich, so he may not need the money, but I'm still being a Heisman Trophy winner at any point has to still be lucrative for these guys.
You might ask, why are you doing this right now? This is not about health. Nikki and I, whether we look like she does, whether I look healthy, I am. It's not about COVID. Or saying, boy, that year was so bad. It's not about that. It's certainly not about what's going on with college basketball, where, boy, the game's changing. All right. I've been in it for 46 years. You mean the game's never changed? In the progression of the game, we have always had to adapt to the changes in culture, the changes in rules, the changes in the world. That's not the reason. Those aren't the reasons.
It's Coach K dispelling all the rumors going on about his departure from Duke this upcoming season, Adam. So what is the reason?
I thought he was doing like his best like Lou Gehrig impersonation. Where I don't know where they recorded that from, where that was at, but we got to get a better room and a better sound system.
Well, you didn't see it was like a big auditorium. He came out dancing and stuff.
I didn't see it.
To that song, every time we touch. You know
I didn't see that. No,
I'm so serious.
Oh, I gotta go look at it. But it did feel like today I'm the luckiest man or something like that. Whatever Lou Gehrig said way back when. But as far as Krzyzewski, listen, after 46 years coaching and 40 years at Duke, right? And now what we decided. He doesn't owe us an explanation on why he's leaving.
Yeah.
People are going to speculate. Wow. Dude, he's done. He's done after that many years. Again, I'm not a big fan of the Swan song. I'm not a big fan of the, hey, I'm leaving at the end of the year. Everybody pat me on my back and carry me off the court, after every game.
Oh, yeah. To tell you the truth, we had this conversation yesterday. You didn't really say what your point of view was, so you're not a fan of it.
I'm not a big fan of that. To me, there's something more about the guy who, just says, all right, I'm done, turns the lights off and leaves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus, hey, everybody, I'm leaving. I'm a size 30, 34 in the waist if you're wanting to get me a gift,
Yeah.
That does he deserve the send-off that he's going to get everywhere? Sure. I just think orchestrating the fact that you're going to get one is
but you know what? That's
schmid's tacky to me.
I was thinking about that too. Is it when they do have them? We mentioned the Kobe's of the world yesterday, Coach K. Is it really like orchestrating it if you're literally just telling people like, yeah, like this is going to be my last year? I already know. You're being transparent about your situation, right?
What happens if midway through and you've already gotten like gifts and you've had these moments you decide midway through, you know what? I felt this way before, but now the fire is burning in my belly again. I'm not going to leave.
Well, number one, I think that'll be fine. But number two, when you know it's time, it's time. You know what I mean?
To me, if you know it's time, then it's time right then. Not, hey,
but that's what I'm saying. He's telling you right now that it's time. Like, listen, this is my last season.
No. If it's time to quit, then you quit. Or if you think you're going to quit at the end of the year, you're pretty sure it's going to be time at the end of the year. You just keep that to yourself, and then you just say, "Hey, listen, guys, I had the most amazing run. He deserves it. No, nobody in college basketball deserves to be applauded by his rival fan bases more so than this guy does. And just there's something about it to me that
we could never fully get into a rhythm and never really kind of see the full potential of what we're capable of. And but all in all, I give my hats off to everyone on this team who showed up every day to work, showed up every day to compete, showed up every day to put in the time and effort, and obviously fell short of our goal, but try to do everything we could to be as good as we could be, as great as we could be under the circumstances.
LeBron sounded like a minor league coach or a little league coach after a major loss. Like, I appreciate everybody. You did your best.
We've given our best effort. We get A for effort. And I want to say thank you to everybody who showed up every single day, put in work. That was none of us. Not everybody showed up every single day to work because, myself, Anthony Davis, clearly. Schroeder's body was here, but, a couple of games, he gave us nothing.
Quickly, do you think that how easy is the rebound going to be for them? You think they're going to rebound from this pretty well next season, or?
At the end of the day, he's like 47 years old in NBA years because of all the wear and tear on his body, and Anthony Davis is made out of wet paper bag.
Kravitz brought up a good point the other day. He's like, do you think this could be something that comes up due to the expedited NBA season we've been having with the bubble? They start a lot earlier. They don't have a lot of time to rest when you're in the playoffs. It's a good point.
Yeah, no, and this is why I don't complain about load management through the years, because this is when you want your stars ready to play. And for the Lakers, they weren't. They were hurt.
Sound off. That's the sound off for today, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, coming up on the other side of the break, guess what I'm doing this weekend? I'm going to watch Floyd Mayweather Jr. take on the biggest test of his career as Logan Paul, the one who's not good at boxing. I'm going to the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight this weekend, and I'm going to ask you, are these events good or bad for the Sweet Science? We'll delve into that coming up next. You're listening to Open Mic right here. Open Mic, the best radio show in town. Isn't that right, Urban Meyer?
I don't know who creates a story like that.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The month of June is heating up with a ton of exciting sports action, and BetOnline.net is where you can find it. From basketball and hockey playoffs to baseball's marquee matchups to the Mayweather versus Paul fight this weekend, BetOnline.net has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your sporting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to check out all the action. So before the next tip-off, face-off, pitch, or punch, head over to BetOnline.net today to learn more. That's BetOnline.net, your sports experts.
It's June, and that means IDC's best offer ever is back. 5 years, 0 interest financing on anything and everything.
Get the unbeatable low price IDC is known for and spread your payments out over 5 whole years without paying a dime in interest.
All IDC designers are included in this special offer. How about a $6,000 Tacori ring for only $100 a month, or a $4,000 Veragio ring for less than $68 a month?
Think about it. You pick any item in the IDC showcase, divide the price by 60, and that's your payment.
All GIA and Forevermark certified diamonds are included, so you can go big on that center diamond. Or just use this to upgrade your engagement ring or surprise her with a new pair of diamond stud earrings.
I'm telling you, fine jewelry has never been more affordable.
Don't miss this once-a-year opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest. Rings, bands, earrings, bracelets, pendants, it's all included. Now for a limited time only.
Only at International Diamond Center.
All 4 Orlando locations. On approved credit, see store for details or shopidc.com.
I was talking with my neighbor Lisa the other day about getting LASIK, and she suggested LASIK Plus. Said they were the best.
I told Megan, my friend Gary told me about LASIK Plus, and that he was right. I had a great experience.
Yeah, I'm Gary. I told Lisa about LASIK Plus, and now they customized a treatment plan specific for my eyes.
LASIK Plus gets more referrals from former patients than anyone else. So if you're ready for a life of new vision, ask a friend, and we're confident they're going to say,
LASIK Plus.
Wait, and you are?
Oh, I'm Matt. Who told Gary? Who told Lisa? Who told Megan?
Right now at LASIK Plus, we're offering $750 off LASIK. That's $375 off per eye for those treated in June. Check out the thousands of 5-star reviews, then visit mylasicoffer.com. LASIK Plus, the patient's choice for LASIK. Must mention this promotion and be treated in June of 2021 to qualify. $750 off for both eyes on standard wavelight price. $375 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at mylasicoffer.com.
Introducing the Lowe's List. While there's innovation in every aisle, these are some of our experts' top picks for 2021. Customize any load with the Whirlpool 2-in-1 washer. Control your home with a touch, thanks to Samsung Connected Appliances. Repel the rain with HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Everlast. And keep the job going longer with the exclusive new line of Flex Power Tools, made for pros. To see who made the full Lowe's list, visit Lowe's.com. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility.
So you think you have unlimited data?
Recalculating.
Think again. If you're on a network you can't trust, then your data is limited, and so are you. Get unlimited and save with Total Wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data on 5G from the network more Americans depend on, with 100 gigabytes at high speed, then 2G for just $25 a month per line.
You have arrived at your destination.
Total Wireless. Do amazing. Available at Total Wireless stores. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TotalWireless.com.
Panera favorites are hot and ready to serve for dinner. Taste our creamy mac and cheese served in a crispy bread bowl. Or the classic bacon turkey Bravo featuring our signature sauce. How about our new mouth-watering Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza? These and other favorites are waiting for you. Order dinner tonight for delivery or pickup. Only at Panera. Availability and pricing may vary.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
For the first time in his career, LeBron James' team will not advance past the first round after the Lakers were knocked out by the Suns. Phoenix takes on Denver in round 2. Bucks QB coach Clyde Christensen said he believes Tom Brady's knee injury was a nagging nuisance that affected him all season. And the Jags are proposing a plan for a development project around TIAA Bank Field that would include a standalone football facility for more than $400 million. I'm Bill Horrenda.
Staples Connect has the tech you need to work and learn from home. Now Apple AirPods are just $129 and AirPods Pro are only $199. That's $50 off. In-store only. Offer N65. Limit 2. Explore at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
Want to be a part of the show, but don't have the guts to phone in? No problem. Text us your well-conceived thoughts to the Academy Sports and Outdoors text line at 50857 and join the conversation.
All right, I'm excited.
Is it settling in yet?
Well, I say I'm excited. I am excited to go be a part of the event that will be Floyd Mayweather Jr. taking on Logan Paul down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami this weekend. Now, do I wish that I would have seen Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight against like Juan Manuel Marquez or Canelo Alvarez or something like that? Yes. Yes, of course I do. But, you know, listen, beggars can't be choosers, okay? So I'm going to this one.
You got Logan.
I got Logan Paul, a guy who's 0-1, has zero amateur experience. His only fight, which was a loss, was to some other guy on YouTube who doesn't have any experience either. I've watched some of his, workout material, like how these guys work out at like Fifth Street Gym down in Miami Beach is normally where people who are boxers down that area will work out.
Impressed, huh?
No. No, listen, guy's in good shape.
Wow.
Now, being in good physical shape and being in good athletic shape, depending on what sport you're playing or participating in, is two totally different things.
Big facts.
It's sort of like when, Tebow, and, I've done a good job of not talking about Tebow for this week.
This is true.
So, like, one of the first pictures that came out was like him all jacked up, like, oh, he's ready. I said, look, being in the gym doesn't make you a great NFL player. Otherwise, Mr. Olympia would be signing, contracts as defensive tackles, all right, in the NFL. It doesn't work out that way. You got to be in some sort of different athletic shape. And now I'm looking at these videos of Logan Paul hitting the pads, right? And with the exception, the only way that Logan Paul can win this fight, the only way he can win it, which I guess technically, literally, not and figuratively, is by knockout. Because there is no judge. There will be no, hey, he won on points, nothing like that. The only way he can win the fight is by knockout. And I'm saying literally the only way he could possibly win this fight would be to hit Floyd probably on the back of the head, have the referee not see it, and do some damage. And his hand speed is slow. The dexterity to throw a punch professionally is so much different than what you think.
Yeah.
There are guys that are listening to me right now and go, well, I could punch. When I was a kid, I was in a fight. I remember I was in a bar fight one time, and I was throwing punches all over the place. You have no idea how much different a punch is thrown by you, me, John Q. Public, versus a punch that is thrown by a professional fighter.
And the GOAT at that.
Yeah, and the greatest boxer of all time. It's different. So I'm watching Logan Paul, and I'm going, okay, he's got no chance. But I'm going to be there, part of the event. I'm going to have my family with me. So, I'm excited for this entire weekend. So it's going to be a great time. But I'm a boxing fan. And so part of me feels a little bit guilty that I am partaking in, encouraging. I feel like I'm helping push a sport I love so much in a direction that I'm pretty positive most of my friends who are my age who love boxing don't want it to go.
Right. So real quick, this fight, is it through Mayweather? Who's promoting this fight?
Mayweather, and
right.
Then Showtime. It's going to air on Showtime pay-per-view. Who Mayweather has obviously a great relationship with his group. And I talked to Mark Daniels about this. He's talking about between 1 and 1.5 million pay-per-view buys at $50 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
That's $50 to $75 million, of which Floyd gets half of.
That's nuts.
And so when I ask the question, is this good or bad for boxing? Well, it's good for Floyd Mayweather. It's good for the Floyd Mayweather business. But is it good for the sport that I love so much? When people say, hey, what's your favorite sport? I'd rather watch a very big boxing match than any football game you can give me.
Well, I have a thought on this, a theory on this. You can tell me if you agree or not, right?
Sure.
So in terms of it being good or bad, I understand both sides of the coin, right? But number one, bringing more eyeballs to the product, to a sport that we love, to a sport that's always been, just riddled with nonsense behind the scenes, promoters not giving us the fights that we want, judges definitely rigging certain things, It's bringing new eyeballs to the product, number one, which is great. Number two, in my opinion, with what Money Mayweather's doing right now, and then you think of the Triller fight coming up with Teofimo in like 2 weeks, they're going through Triller. And there's other outlets that you can collaborate with in order to have these matches now. We're kind of slowly but surely getting away from these age-old promoters that have ran the game and had a hold on the game for so long that now, like I feel very confident in the way that it's going, even though I'm not the biggest fan of, the YouTube stars fighting the greatest of all time, that type of thing. But in my opinion, it's bringing us into a new age of boxing that could lead us to something great. Like DAZN is another one.
Yeah, DAZN.
Yeah. So we're moving on slowly but surely from the promoters. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest fix for boxing would always is the issue that the sport has with promoters being in bed with certain networks.
Correct.
Because the minute a fighter signs on with a promoter, they're locked into that network. And if the second best fighter in that weight class is tied to another promoter who's tied to another network, we can't get that fight.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have no promoter and Trilla's having this thing, you have no problem but to go over there and have the fights that we want to see.
Now, Teofimo Lopez is promoted by Bob Arum, who has the relationship with ESPN. But Bob Arum didn't want to promote this next fight because you sign a contract with these fighters and it's for so many fights, and he felt like, I'm not going to get the return on my investment for this fight that you're going to have. I'm not promoting this fight, so it doesn't count against my contract. I don't want it to count against my contract. So Triller gets in there and bids and says, I'll take it, and we're going to try this new thing where we sort of marry a hip-hop concert with the Teofimo Lopez fight. I believe Meg the Stallion's going to be a part of it. Meek Mill is also going to be a part of it. So we are entering this whole new world of boxing promotion / pop culture.
Yeah,
entertainment, pop culture. And will it work? And like, are these fans that are watching it, again, because boxing fans that I know probably aren't spending $50 to watch Floyd Mayweather fight some guy on YouTube. So that leads me to believe that there's a lot of people who watch YouTube that are tuning in to watch this.
Yes.
As they did for the KSI fight. My question is, if it's not Logan Paul, or if it's not KSI, or if it's not, who's the other Paul brother? Jake Paul. Are these guys going to watch this fight today and then go later on go, hey, I really enjoyed watching boxing. Let me see what Canelo's up to next.
Right.
Are those
sense.
people that can and will cross over to the sport? My belief today is no, that they will tune in for their YouTube stars, or if people are tuning in for Meek Mill and then there's a boxing match afterwards, half the people are paying just to see Meek Mill and probably won't be interested in boxing after that. I don't know that to be true. That's just my sense at this moment. Hey, coming up on the other side of the break, Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, will join us from New York City. Stick around. You're listening to Open Mic right here on The Game.
Yankees gonna talk some Rocky sports down the I-4 corridor. So get your motor running. Time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Oh, we're in the home stretch now. Down the stretch they go.
Yeah, I don't know about you. When it comes to this time, this 8 o'clock time, everything feels just a little more smooth, a little less hectic.
We got the heavy lifting out of the way.
And we got the Bulldog in the building?
And the Bulldog is in the building. Mike Bianchi from beautiful New York City joins us via the phone line. Mike, appreciate you hanging out with us all week, man. Taking time. You know, this is actually sleeping into you, though, for you, right? You get to sleep in.
Absolutely. Actually, I'm in beautiful Orlando now and not on the phone.
Oh, I was about to say. I'm like, oh my God, the phone lines. They done fix those up. Sounds good. What did you just get back?
Flew in last night from New York City, JFK. Had a good flight. So, yeah, back in town.
I need a 20-second time. So yesterday I said, well, I didn't know if you were going to be on the show today because, you know, I figured maybe early flight trying to. Did you take the red eye home?
No. Yesterday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday.
All right. I'm just. I was gonna say, like, I felt like I knew Mike well enough that he goes, well, you know, I mean, we could either fly in at 4 p.m., but we just wait another 6 or 7 hours. I mean, that flight right there. Woo!
Yeah. And plus, I was up late last night. Man, I was celebrating last night. The Lakers getting eliminated. In fact, after I watched the game, you know, I can stay up late now when I'm on vacation. I watched the game, and then right after they lost, I put on the old, you know, Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz and started dancing around my living room. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Kelly Velez, do you have that song?
The wicked old witch at last is dead.
Ah, yeah, here we go. Come on. The witch is dead. Witch, oh, witch. The wicked witch. Ding dong. LeBron James is dead. Wake up, you sleepyhead. Rep your. Yeah. Lakers are dead. Ah, yes.
I think I see Mike in this clip in the background.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Is there anything better than the Lakers being dead and out of the playoffs?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's when the Clippers get eliminated too, and then we're all forced.
Oh, that's going to be even better. Then we have the Lakers, the Clippers, the Knicks. If only the Nets could get eliminated. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and the Nets would be the only thing tying us to like our yesteryear's fan base of the NBA. Otherwise, we're forced to find new players in the NBA that we enjoy. I mean, with Devin Booker last night, we talked about other guys that were stepping up and becoming stars in this league. What about him? What about Devin Booker, who goes for 47 last night, who after the game, LeBron James almost ceremonially passed the torch by way of his signed autographed jersey that told Devin Booker, keep being great or something like that.
Right?
Keep being legendary.
And I watched some of the Nuggets last night, and again... He's not LeBron James, or he's not one of the most electrifying players in the league, but Nikola Jokic, that guy is unbelievable. I mean, the guy's like, he's 7 foot tall. He's running the break. He's shooting threes. He's incredible.
Also,
for the
Mike, the touch he has with the ball, his passing ability is insane.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. These are new stars that we're going to have to get used to now. We're going to have to.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Only because I'm friends with Brady Ackerman, and I know that the only person happier than you about LeBron getting bounced last night had to have been Brady Ackerman, because it was his Phoenix Suns that did it.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I think he's the only Phoenix Suns fan I know. Brady Ackerman.
Well, he's got like this weird thing where like he's a fan of the Phoenix Suns. He loves the St. Louis Cardinals, right? Like there's a reason why you're a fan of a team. It's generally because that's where you grew up, or you have some sort of like people around here are Braves fans because when they grew up, there were no baseball teams in the state, so they just kind of gravitated to the team that was nearest them, which was the Braves at the time. So that's why you get so many Braves fans inside the state of Florida. But I've never like Phoenix Suns and the St. Louis guys. I never quite understood that from Brady,
right?
But it is what it is, and he's probably a happy fan today.
Wouldn't it be great if we had like I don't know, the Phoenix Suns or the Utah Jazz against I don't know, the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks?
Keep it small market. We're going from Milwaukee to Utah in the finals.
Yeah, these mid-market teams.
Yeah, you know who says no to that? Adam Silver. Yeah, Adam Silver's like, no, that would not be great at all. As a matter of fact.
Although, I mean, you have Giannis.
That's not fair.
On the Bucks. He's the reigning MVP. It's not like you don't have superstars on these teams. I mean, you just mentioned Devin Booker. I just mentioned Nikola Jokic. I mean, you've got superstars on these teams. Luka Doncic for the Mavericks, if they get in.
Well, so Mike, my this is sort of my grading scale when it comes to a superstar in the world of sports. Is if I'm on an elevator and they're behind me and they're having a conversation with somebody else, do I know who that is behind me? Mm-hmm. And the fact that he has the Greek accent helps. But I think it was 2 weeks ago you played some audio from Giannis, and I didn't know who it was. He doesn't have enough FaceTime, and even though he's been the MVP of the league 2 years in a row. I didn't know the guy's voice. I didn't know it was him for sure. When LeBron speaks, I know who it is. When Kevin Durant speaks, I know who it is. James Harden, even, when he speaks, I know who it is. I'd love to see Giannis become a much bigger star in that sense. Give him the elevator test, as I like to call it.
He's got to get in the finals to do that.
I was about to say, you're being a hypocrite now, because the only way that can happen now is if he goes to the finals. Well, not the only way, but a big component of that.
He's been the MVP 2 years in a row. Steph was the MVP.
You want more FaceTime? Finals.
You got to get to the finals.
I think you are part of the issue here, all right? Because I'm watching and listening to some national radio shows yesterday. I was watching First Take a little bit yesterday morning, and Stephen A. Smith. I mean, they spent so much time yesterday talking about the Knicks, all right? And Kelly Velez, I realize you're a huge Knicks fan, all right? But seriously, other than the fact that they're in New York, are the Knicks worth all of this national air? Is there really that much interest in the Knicks? Seriously. I mean, Julius Randle. Yeah. I realize that, but Julius Randle is he's not a superstar. He's their best player. The Knicks are if the Knicks were in Memphis, nobody be talking about them. I don't know why the national media. I don't know why the national media spends so much time talking about the Knicks. They haven't been relevant in decades, and yet still these major media figures like Stephen A. Smith spend an inordinate amount of time talking about the Knicks. I don't get it. I've never gotten that.
Well, for me, it's two things. Number one, big market, of course. Number two, a lot of that happens, is taped in New York. And number three, that's three things actually. It's just a great story coming out of a franchise that has been tanking this whole time. So I can see that, but I do agree that it is overkill. There's not much else you can wring from that, can you?
And actually, I pointed to it this morning. We were talking about this NFL story, with the racial issue when it came to paying guys, during concussions. But
race norming,
race norming, yeah. So, but the weird part is we didn't hear much about this. We haven't heard much about this on these national broadcasts. But how many days did you wake up and see, will Dak Prescott sign a max contract? Right. We saw that 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, because it was the Dallas Cowboys. It was the Dallas Cowboys. And you're right. These shows focus on these large market teams, win, lose, or draw. Because, hey, the Cowboys aren't very good. Who cares what they're doing at the quarterback position, right? But it matters because it's a large market. It's a marquee name in the league, and that's who they pander to, the greatest common denominator, or the lowest common denominator, if you will.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also is like Kelly just mentioned, a lot of these media figures and a lot of these shows are based in New York. You know, Fox is based in LA, so they talk about the teams that are local to them when maybe some of the rest of us really don't care about the Knicks.
Well,
anyway.
in that same vein, by the way, for the next probably 24 to 48 hours, it will be all about how the Lakers lost this series and no comment really about how the Phoenix Suns won. I kept reminding people, by the way, hey, the 2 seed in this matchup was not the team in gold and purple, by the way. It was the other team. It was the team that was better throughout the entire season, though you wouldn't know it based on the coverage that these two teams get inside the playoffs. So.
I can tell you the major topic today on all the, I know this because I watch them every day. The major topic today will be, is this the end of the LeBron James era? That will be the major topic.
It's the end of the 7 o'clock hour. We'll get into the 8 o'clock hour coming up after this legal identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, W245CL Deltona. This is FM 96.9, The Game. You feel that?
I can feel it.
We're about to blast off.
Just hook it to my veins!
It's time for the blast.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the blast, brought to you by Frank Gate Services. When you have a plumbing or electrical problem, you need help now. Go to frankgateservices.com, starting it all off with the open mic, thought-provoking daily poll. Which sports luminary has a greater claim to GOAT status? LeBron James or Tiger Woods? Adam.
All right, so Mike, the premise of this question was both guys fall short in the number that we measure the GOAT by.
Yeah.
But these things, this goes deeper than the number. We discussed it a little bit earlier on. I think because of what Tiger Woods brought to golf, the way he changed the game for so many other people to want to be involved, it really made golf a global game, a game for all people. And by the way, the pay on tour reflects that, the attention that he drew to it. I think as much as I'm a LeBron guy and think that he does deserve some GOAT status, if I have to choose between the two guys, I think that Tiger's more GOAT-worthy in golf than LeBron is in basketball.
I would love to disagree with you, but when you look at basketball, I mean, there are probably a handful of players who you could say should be considered for GOAT status, whether it be LeBron or Michael Jordan or Bill Russell or Oscar Robertson back in the day. But in golf, there are really only two. All right, there's Jack, and then there's Tiger. Jack has more majors, but as far as impact of the game, Arnold Palmer probably had more impact on the game than Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods' impact on the game, especially in the modern era, as far as TV numbers, as far as pay for the golfers, and all of the dynamics and demographics when it comes to golf. Tiger Woods by far. And again, if he doesn't get injured, he probably breaks Jack's record for number of majors as well. So, Tiger Woods clearly wins this.
With 79% of the vote, the audience agrees with y'all. Tiger Woods is the closest to GOAT status. Open mic supplemental poll number 1. With the recent failures of the AAF and the XFL pre-rebrand, will the return of the USFL in 2022 be successful? Yes or no, Mike?
Well, it depends. I've always thought spring football would work if it was well-financed. We have not seen a well-financed spring league yet. The USFL went belly up. The AAF didn't even last a season. The XFL didn't even last a season. If you have a well-financed spring league that has a decent TV contract, and I guess this new USFL is going to have a Fox national TV contract, yes, I think it could work. I really do. I'm not saying it would get NFL-type numbers or NBA-type numbers, but it would get NASCAR-type numbers. I think it could work if it's well-funded and they're in it for the long haul. You can't just expect to make money after a year or two. You have to be in it for 5 years and let it sort of marinate. So, yes, I think it could work.
Oh, Mike brings up a good point. Is where are we setting the bar? Clearly not going to get NFL numbers. But if you say, can a spring football league get NASCAR type numbers on television? Then the answer to that part is yes. But what I struggle with most is Garrett Gilbert's good enough to be a third string quarterback in the NFL. But if he's the face of a football league, that tells me right away that league's probably not going to be that good.
Right.
And so it's hard for me, with all the time I already invested with the NFL and college football, when you've got a wife, kids, other responsibilities in life, to convince them, hey, it's okay if I sit around the couch all these other weekends too, because I'm watching Garrett Gilbert lead the Tucson Tumbleweeds against the Arizona. That's going to be a hard sell in that household. I can assure you of that. So I'm going to go no.
Very good point. With 88% of the vote, people agree as well. No, it's not going to happen. Open mic supplemental poll number 2. Which young NBA star are you most excited to watch in the future? Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Adam.
I'm going to go Trae Young. Because I like the idea of Atlanta being a basketball place. You know what I mean? Like I would love to see Atlanta be successful. Atlanta hasn't been good since like Dominique Wilkins was there, and unfortunately for Dominique Wilkins, he's another one of those guys that grew up during the Larry Bird / Michael Jordan era, so didn't have the chance to lift that franchise to NBA heights. I'd love to see Trae Young do it. Love to see Trae Young do it.
Who are the choices again?
We got Luka, Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, and Devin Booker.
I'm going off the charts here.
You're going Jokic?
Absolutely, I am. This guy is incredible. He first of all, he's an MVP candidate. Just watching the guy play, he does it all. He averaged 30 and 10 in the playoff series. I think that's happened only one other time in NBA history. He handles the ball. He passes the ball. He makes everybody around him better. I'm going Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, but is he a young NBA star?
How old is he?
I don't think he's that old.
He was drafted in like 2013.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. But I'll go with it. It's true. I like it. 62% of the vote said Luka Doncic. The man himself, Little Bird. Open mic supplemental poll number 3. How surprising is it that the NFL has been practicing quote-unquote race norming, which made it harder for black retirees to qualify for medical coverage? Very surprising or not surprising at all, Mike?
Again, I don't understand all the science and all of this stuff.
Let's go to Adam first, because Adam has some insight, right, Adam?
Well, it was the sadly I'm not surprised, because this is a money issue. Because they didn't want to pay out as much as they need to be paying out, so they used this the scale, which automatically assumes that African Americans have a lower cognitive score going in than non-African Americans. So when their score is low, it isn't because they've gone down so far, it's because they didn't start high enough in the first place, and so therefore we're denying you. And that's essentially what it's the most, I think it's the ugliest thing that the NFL has really been involved in, and I'm actually shocked that it doesn't get more coverage. I think probably the NFL has told all of its TV partners, do not cover this on your get up shows and stuff like that. I think that they maybe flex some muscle there. But sadly, I'm not shocked at all that the NFL is involved in a practice that, that one is trying to save them, parts of their $1 billion settlement, apparently, or future issues. So I'm not shocked at it. And it's a terribly ugly story for the NFL, and something that should not have been happening in the first place.
I am shocked about this because these race norming standards, from the stories I've read, were sort of created in hopes of offering, they were created for dementia patients, not athletes, just for normal dementia patients and the benefits that they get. So the NFL followed these standards. I'm surprised because, again, the NFL is about 70% African American. All right, 70% of all NFL players are black players. So in that respect, yeah, I'm surprised. You shouldn't be trying to screw the majority of your workforce. That's wrong if you're the NFL. So I'm going to go, yes, I'm surprised.
So 70% with not surprising at all. Open mic supplemental poll number 4. The National Football Foundation announced the 2022 College Football Hall of Fame ballot. Who's the best out of these Florida players? Eric Rett, Peter Warrick, Ken Dorsey, or Bryant McKinney? Mike.
Oh, this one's easy for me. I mean, Peter Warrick, to me, was one of the greatest college football players I've ever seen. One of the most electrifying college football players I've ever seen. Breathtaking college football player. Would have won the Heisman Trophy if not for, in today's world, what would be considered a minor offense. He essentially got some discounted clothing from a Dillard's department store while he was in college. Yeah, one of his friends gave him like the 4-finger discount at Dillard's, and that was the basis of why he didn't win the Heisman Trophy and why he got suspended. Peter Warrick in hindsight, he got screwed out of the Heisman Trophy.
Mike, did you vote for him for the Heisman?
I don't think I did.
No, this guy.
Yeah.
I helped screw this guy. But outraged. This guy.
I believe he was on. He might have been on my. He might have been on my ballot. I need to go back and check that. Yeah.
As much as I would love to vote for one of my Canes, even though Bryant McKinney was amazing during his college career, his 2 years at the University of Miami, I always, whenever I get a chance to pub Eric Rett, Eric Rett is a monster of a football player who did everything at Florida. He's still, all-purpose yards. I want to say he's still like the leader there at UF. He may in fact be, but rushing and receiving, that guy could do everything. And Judd Davis tells me that he swears to God he could kick a 60-yard field goal. He had the thighs that looked like you could do it, by the way. He did. He had the hamstrings and the quads that looked like he could make it happen. So I'm going to go with Eric Rett on that one.
With 56% of the vote, Peter Warrick wins that one. Now, finally, our open mic Would You Rather poll. What flavor of chicken wings would you rather have? Buffalo, barbecue, lemon pepper, or honey garlic? Adam.
Wait, honey barbecue? Is that one of the choices?
No, barbecue, lemon pepper, and honey garlic.
Oh, I think I've had honey garlic before. I'll go honey garlic. I like a little sweet savory. I like delicious. That. I like that.
Mike.
Read them again.
We got buffalo, barbecue, lemon pepper, and honey garlic.
I'm gonna go. Ooh, wow, that's a good one. I'm gonna
Nothing
go
but good questions in polls.
Lemon pepper, because that way you get more of the taste of the actual wing itself. I'm a purist when it comes to wings. I like to taste the meat. I like to taste the skin, and lemon pepper is sort of just lightly seasoned, unlike some of these, honey garlic, where essentially you're not even tasting the wing. All you're tasting is the sauce. So I'm a purist. I'm going lemon pepper.
Mike is a dry rub guy. I agree. With 66% of the vote, Buffalo wins that one. Of course, the blast brought to you by Frank Gay Services. A live operator is waiting for you, and a licensed plumber is ready to help today with a solution to your problems fast. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
By the way, we missed out on the easiest poll question when it comes to wings of all time is the drumsticks versus the...
Oh, no, they didn't. We'll do that one later.
Flipper? What do you call them? Flats or flippers?
Call them wings.
Flats.
The flats.
The flats?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been calling them flippers for the longest time. And by the way, it's like no comparison. Drumsticks are too hard to eat. They're too hard to eat. Give me the flaps. I watched a competitive eater one time, so I know the whole technique to snapping the two bones, pulling one out, and then you can just do like a straight up.
The scrape?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I do. My fiance hates it when we're out to eat. And she's like
scraping.
By the way, real quick, I joined a chicken wing eating contest with, what's his name from the Nathan's guy? Who eats
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut, yes. For WJRR one time. That guy, when it comes to eating chicken wings, boy. I don't remember. It wasn't even as close as his.
Doring. I was there one time when Doring did one, and
I have a video. I'll show you.
Doring did like 12 wings. That's like, dude, that's not an eating competition. That's an appetizer, bro. What are you talking about?
That's free food.
All right. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.
All right, I will not be here Monday, by the way, because I'm coming back from the fight this weekend. I'll be down at the. So I'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Well, we appreciate you guys holding down the fort. You guys have done a great job this week. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Mike Bianchi will be back on Monday. I'll be back on Tuesday because that fight's on Sunday. So one thing, that's one thing's hard to get excited about, a fight on Sunday night. Sunday night fights. So it used to be my house way back in the day. My parents.
I hate you so much.
All right, coming up next, we'll get back into the world of sports. Stick around. You're listening to Open Mic right here on The Game.
Open Mic with Mike Bianchi.
Skill level that he has is certainly John Elway-like.
We'll be back right after this.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine 96.9 The Game studios.
That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We are FM 96.9 The Game, an iHeartRadio station.
Touchdown! Boom!
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
Eastbound I-4 is heavy traffic from Osceola Parkway to State Road 535, or very slow now eastbound from Michigan Street to Colonial, and westbound I-4 slows from Maitland Boulevard to Lee Road. Have a serious accident being investigated. Northbound on John Young Parkway, it occurred just past Hunters Creek. Northbound is blocked and diverted at eastbound Greenwald Way. Hunters Creek is blocked, and the southbound left turn lane is closed on John Young Parkway. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center on Daisy Ash.
Whether it's offering curbside or next-day delivery for online orders on over 160,000 parts or getting involved in their local communities, when it comes to serving you, Napa's motor never quits. That's Napa know-how.
When it comes to power, trust the source. SolarSource.com.
International Diamond Center's most aggressive offer ever is back. 5 years, zero interest financing.
This is incredible. Get the unbeatable low price IDC is known for and spread your payments out over 5 whole years without paying a dime in interest.
Use this to upgrade to that pre-owned Rolex watch you've always wanted, like a stainless steel Submariner as low as $125 a month, or a gold Presidential starting at just $265 a month.
Don't miss this amazing opportunity. Get the amazing IDC value price and 60 months, 0% financing without paying a dime in interest.
Getting engaged or celebrating an anniversary? Even all GIA and Forevermark certified diamonds are included in this incredible offer. How about a $15,000 designer ring with a Forevermark center diamond for only $250 a month?
Hurry, this is a limited time offer and only at International Diamond Center.
5 years, zero interest financing. Now at International Diamond Center. Unapproved credit, see store for details or shopidc.com.
Recently, Total Wireless helped Garrett Dvorak throw a virtual baby shower for his wife, Ellie.
Just to see everyone's expressions, I don't have words for it.
Because when you move to Total Wireless, you can get amazing devices on 5G. And with unlimited plans starting at $25 a month per line for 4 lines, you could save up to $80 per month.
Total Wireless, you guys pulled through.
Total Wireless, do amazing. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Savings claim made when compared to 4-line postpaid plans of the leading carrier for 2021. See terms and conditions at totalwireless.com.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great race, we gave this game day jam surprisingly great lyrics.
I saved a lot this year because I called the pro. I am calling State Farm. I gotta make a phone call. We got that coverage here. Protect your car at home. I am calling State Farm. I gotta make a phone just call now. There's a little bit of great race with a little bit of Jake. Look at my quote now.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Introducing in-person payments from PayPal, a touch-free way for your customers to pay and tip. Whether you're a hot dog vendor,
mustard? You gotta have the mustard.
a personal trainer,
Don't you drop those knees, Sandra!
or a boba shop.
Brewed to pearly perfection.
Signing up your business is easy. Simply download the PayPal app and display your own unique QR code for your customers to scan, pay, and tip too. Shop safe with touch-free QR code payments. Fees may apply. For more info, go to paypal.com/US/getQRcode.
Nya nya nya. Ba. Ba. Babue. Zimbabwe. The broken Bunsen burner burns so bright. Southeast Asian Peninsula.
Hey, Jamie?
Yes?
I think the only line we need from you today is drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Cool. I just got to finish my warm-ups. Foul, throw in the towel. History.
Switch to Progressive today.
Santa ski slalom in a salmon skin suit.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough, and the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The month of June is heating up with a ton of exciting sports action, and BetOnline.net is where you can find it. From basketball and hockey playoffs to baseball's marquee matchups to the Mayweather versus Paul fight this weekend, BetOnline.net has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your sporting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to check out all the action. So before the next tip-off, face-off, pitch, or punch, head over to BetOnline.net today to learn more. That's BetOnline.net, your sports experts.
I'm Tamara Pridgett.
And I'm Adrienne Herbert. And we're co-hosts of Sweat the Details, a collaboration from Under Armour and iHeartRadio.
It's a brand new podcast by women, for women, here to shake up the conversation about women in sport and fitness.
iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts, but don't take our word for it. Find Sweat the Details on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you missed any of Mike Bianchi and Open Mic, then we've got you covered. Catch a full replay of the show. Just search Open Mic on demand wherever you download podcasts.
All right, just a couple more minutes for me. And then the pros take over.
Where do you think you're going? You acting like you have somewhere to be this weekend.
I do.
Acting like you have some festivities.
Festivities down in Miami. Love going to South Florida. It's going to be a good time.
See, you're talking all that mess about Bianchi being up in New York this whole week. Now you're about to go to Miami.
That's true.
Have a good time
both
out
places
there.
are nice. I love both places almost equally. Real quick, my final thoughts on the USFL's return.
Let's do it.
Again, I listen. I get where the idea is. Hey, there's a gap here. Let's fill it with something people love. But at the end of the day, I just think the times are different. And yes, I think that. And Mike brought up a great point. If the goal is to get numbers that can compete with NASCAR's numbers, do I think people will watch to that level? Sure. Is that enough to sustain another league? A league that is going to compete. I say compete. I don't know if they're going to compete to get big name guys. I mean, way back in the day, I remember Steve Young, Jim Kelly, Herschel Walker. These were all big name guys that ended up playing in the USFL first and then ended up over in the NFL.
Right.
And I guess we'll have to see if this league is one that, like, are you trying to get the best players out of college to end up playing for you? Or is this essentially kind of what the AAF was, which is the Garrett Gilberts of the world who look good in that league, but are still waiting for an opportunity to be the third or second string guy on teams? Is that the best of the best that you're going to have in this league? Right. And if that's the case, then again, for me, I'm already committed to watching the NFL. And I'm committed to watching college football every single weekend. That's going to be a hard sell for me at the house. Like, okay, and then, oh, by the way, there's this new league that comes along with players I'm really not that interested in because the league has already told me they're not that good. But I'm going to stay home and watch that as opposed to, family fun night with the kids. That's going to be a hard sell for me. And so don't be shocked. If like the AAF or the AAF, right? The Alliance of American Football. That
Shout out to the Apollos.
I come in here and like, what'd the Apollos do this weekend? I didn't watch.
Yeah.
I guess I was part of the problem.
What's scary to me, right, is the same issue that we've been talking about, recent draftees or coaches. You don't really have the time to figure out everything when you're brand new. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine being a brand new football league. You have the NFL, who, of course, everybody is going to, compare yourself to. But it's like, realistically, you're not going to reach those expectations, period. Especially the first couple years out, it's just not going to happen. It takes time in order to build your brand and to get eyeballs on your product and to get these athletes to go there as opposed to this institution that's been established for so long. And that's why, in my opinion, that's one of the big, other than funding, that's one of the reasons why AAF, XFL, and all of them go down. But people do see the upside, which is why they continue to come back. The question is, are they going to come out the gate gunning? Or will, just the era of it all allow them the opportunity to get better? That's what I'm interested in seeing.
Well, I guess we'll see. I grew up with the Tampa Bay Bandits, so I do remember a time where the...
Wait, real quick. So if they bring back the Bandits, are you going to tune in? Are you going to tune in for at least one game?
Here's what I know, is that the guy who coached the Bandits way back then is probably willing to coach the Bandits again today, okay? I mean, he did the whole Apollo thing, and it's just down the street. Just down